We're going to make our program a little bit more responsive than it's been so far. At the moment, it just returns everything that's in the database. We don't particularly want that. We want it to be a bit more intelligent. So, for example, I might want to find out all the people in the database who've got the last name Smith and just pull back that information. And to do that, I'm going to make several changes to my PHP file, changes to the Python file, maybe even set up a web page just to test it out. Now, it might sound complicated, but really we've seen all of this before. You've done all of this code. We're going back as far as video 25 for this one, where we're going to look at whether or not there are any parameters on this line, such as last name equals blogs. We're going to check whether actually we've got the parameter last name, and we're going to see if that parameter actually contains a value. Like I said, we've seen this before. You might want to go back and refresh your memory. But this is how it's going to work. If I do have a parameter, and if I do have a name, then what I want to do is run all of this code. Okay? So I really want to wrap all of that up in my little check, my selection, if it's set, if it's not empty, do all of this. Before I go there, I'm going to make this a little bit more professional, a bit more useful. Instead of calling it index 3, I'm going to give it a better name. Save as, I'm going to call it get person. So it sort of is a description of what it actually does. There we go. And here I'm also going to just check that that works by typing in get person.php, and there we go, it works nicely. So let's go and take a look at the code. As I said, I want to sort of wrap all of this code into a simple if statement. So let's make a line at the top and let's go for the if statement. If you remember, what we need to do is check if something has been set, and if it has, we're going to execute whatever's inside these two curly braces. Well, whatever's going to be inside these two curly braces is this code. So I'm going to delete that curly brace there, and I'm going to place that one at the bottom. Notice the red is indicating the opening and closing braces, so that everything there is inside. Just to ensure that, I'm going to actually indent all of this code to make it readable. There we go, it's all indented. And now I'm going to work out what my condition is for my if statement. So thinking back, we need to check if something is set and if something is not empty. The way we do that is with is set, and we're going to logically AND, so we're going to perform an AND with that and a not empty. Now it's sort of useful writing it out this way rather than trying to put in all the details, because then we can see if we've missed off any brackets or braces. Everything is coloured, so it seems fine. If I've missed off a bracket or a brace, I would soon get to find out, because the colours wouldn't work properly. So in the is set, what we need to do, we're going to check on the address bar, in the address bar and the URL, whether we have something like this, last name equals blogs. That's what we want to check for. So we need to check if last name has been set. If you remember how we do that, we need to do the get request, and in square brackets we need to put the value of what we are trying to read, which is last name. And it's exactly the same. We're going to see now if that contains a value. So I can actually just copy and paste that there. So that's the first task done. So this code is only going to execute if that has a first or last name. So if I just enter that now, there you go, we can see that the code is executed because it had the name blogs. If I don't give it a value, it's still executing. Okay, we need to check out why that is. If I don't give it anything at all, still executing. Well, we'll come to the reason for that very shortly.